What's good, boys? It's Gecko. This is a tier list. I didn't really know what to make, so I thought I'd make a tier list video. First of all, let's add a row titled D. Okay, this is a Minecraft potion effects tier list. I'm gonna be ranking more by, I guess, not necessarily competitive use, but just like what what's the most fun? Which of these makes Minecraft better? Which of these makes Minecraft worse? I also have another tab open, which should be off screen for what the effects actually are, so I can do research. This first one, though, I think is absorption, which adds extra hearts, which, as someone who plays Bedrock and Java, is pretty essential. Bedrock, for example, instant damage potion arrows just obliterate you, and if you don't have God apples, then you can't really do anything, and a lot of the reason why is absorption, which is pretty good. I wouldn't call absorption S tier, because extra hearts doesn't make Minecraft that much better, but it's a relatively good addition. I'd say B A area, but I'll go high B. This, I think this is I forget what it's called specifically, but this is like whenever if you enter a village, you'll get raided. Let me find the name. Yeah, Bad Omen is the name. So whenever you enter a village, you get raided. This is mid. Actually, this is below mid. This is D. I like the concept of raids, but I feel like there's no perfect time when you should fight a raid. Unless you're like, because you're either like full kitted out can dominate, or you're not kitted out enough and you get dominated. There's just no perfect time to a raid. Raids are a decent addition to the game, but I don't know if it adds too much. I'm not a big Bad Omen fan. Blindness, I'm putting I'll go B tier for the fact that a lot of this is additions to the game, and blindness is a fun effect for adventure maps and stuff like that. Blindness is incredible, but outside of that, there's just not much use. I think it makes the game better, but not enough for an SA tier. This is definitely like low B, high C tier. This effect is something to do with Heart of the Sea. Oh, conduit power, right? Conduit. I'll put it C tier. Actually, I'll go low B tier for conduit, because conduits, they make the game more fun, I will say, but you're also pretty progressed because you've taken down an ocean monument at this point. Sorry. You've taken down an ocean monument at this point, so you're pretty progressed in the game already. This is mostly just for late game stuff, so it can't really be too high up there. Um, Dolphin effect is C tier. I don't, as someone who mostly plays Bedrock but a little Java, you don't really see it come up too much. And some stuff like a manhunt is incredible, but otherwise it's just average. I don't see too much with it. Fire resistance is probably the first A tier. Fire res is incredibly important to the game of Minecraft, where it just takes like a whole aspect of you can't do this no matter what, whether it's because your armor will break, whether it's because it will kill you. It just takes that and gets rid of it, you know? I think it's a classic, and it is very important to the game. This effect, I have no idea what it is. I think this is supposed to be invisibility, because looking at the rest of these, and the rest of them look like invisibility. Invisibility is probably the first S tier. Invisibility adds a lot to the game of Minecraft, not only competitively. You ask any of the boys on the old realms, and I was an invisibility god. Having this full crossbow and sword lineups, then just one offslide for your hand. I used to run three multi-shot instant damage arrow crossbows, 2 lingering instant damage potions, and then a sword. And I would just invis around battles and kill. The big downside to invisibility is that the particle effects show you, but if, for example, if you're in the rain, or if you're just good at masking them, you're fine anyways. The only thing that really counters it is multi-shot. And on top of that, it also helps for stuff like adventure maps, like we saw with blindness. So it's just like blindness with the adventure map, which would be B tier already, plus the competitive side. So that's definitely S tier to me. Haste, I'd say haste is A tier. Being able to break stuff faster. You're late in the game, so it's mostly for cosmetic stuff, but on top of that, it also helps in stuff like an adventure map. I would say haste is pretty important in the game of Minecraft. Not much to really say there. Regeneration, I'm leaning low S, high A tier. Regeneration's very important. Because, like, for example, in Bedrock, I'll sit it here for now. In Bedrock, you need regeneration to counter like instant damage, and then on top of that, it's just a very helpful effect. It's a classic, everyone knows it. I think it's very useful. I think regeneration's easily A tier. Hero of the Village, I'll put down with Bad Omen and D tier. Again, it's the same points about raids. I just don't think raids fit in the game very well. Hero of the Village is definitely a tier above Bad Omen because it is helpful in a way that stuff other stuff is not. But it's just I don't know. I'm not the biggest fan. Hunger, probably biased as someone who never has food on them. I think Hunger is F tier. Hunger, it just doesn't add a lot to the game of Minecraft. It forces you to food farm, which is just incredibly boring. I think all it does is make the game worse. You could argue a D tier, but there's no splash potion for it. There's no competitive use. It's just purely PvE, and it's like the worst kind. It's just not fun to me. This might actually be Invisibility, which is making me think, okay, this is Invisibility, this is Glowing. So we'll switch them. Everything about Invisibility stays. But this is Glowing, which is the PC effect. This is Java only. I haven't played enough with it to know, but from just watching stuff like a Manhunt, it seems alright. I don't know enough to comment, so I'll have to just throw it C tier. This is Jump Boost, or is this Speed? No, this is Speed. So this is Jump Boost. Jump Boost is mid. I wouldn't I wouldn't say jump boost is too useful. In combat, it can be, but it's just so situational. I think it's better for stuff like servers than actual combat. You don't see people brewing jump boost potions to go fight the Ender Dragon, for example. I just don't think it's useful enough. Levitating is fun, I will say. Levitating is very fun, but it's just I don't know if it does enough for me. I'm aiming like low C, high D tier. Levitating just doesn't add enough to the game of Minecraft, in my opinion. Good luck and bad luck, I honestly don't really know what they do. As someone who hasn't played a lot of Java, I really can't tell you what good luck, bad luck does. Actually, I'm gonna look into it real quick, so that way I can be more educated. So it seems like it mostly just affects levels and the loot you get from chests, but it's very minimal, which makes me leaning. I think for bad luck it'll be F, and for good luck it'll be D. Actually, other way around. Because good luck it just doesn't add enough, and bad luck it doesn't take away enough. It doesn't affect the game of Minecraft that much, as there's not that much RNG. Sorry, that's not what I meant. There's not that much RNG that the player can decide, you know? Like, opening a chest, sure, you can get lucky, you can get unlucky. But, like, a mob shooting you, how you fight in combat, it just doesn't affect enough to be that too useful. I'm putting it D, F tier for good and bad luck. Mining fatigue definitely has its uses. I wouldn't do D tier. It definitely has a purpose in the game with not being able to just break ocean monument blocks right away. I would put it probably behind levitating. I'll put levitating above glowing. It has its purpose. I just don't see it come up too much outside of ocean monuments. Nausea is a fun effect and it's important. Nausea is a very fun effect and it's very important for adventure maps. So I'll probably put it on that blindness tier of just fun and important for stuff outside of the base game. And obviously I do mention stuff outside the base game like adventure maps, but then I don't include servers that much when talking about jump boost. So I think it just I think adventure maps are more important than the server effects for potions. I think nausea is definitely important to the game of Minecraft. This is night vision if I'm not wrong. This could definitely go alongside this tier of potion effects of hey they add a lot to Minecraft, but it just doesn't really do it for me. I put it alongside glowing. Night vision just doesn't affect the game enough. You can see anyway if you turn off gamma. It just doesn't affect the game of Minecraft enough. Poison, I'm putting A tier. Poison's a very good effect. It's very balanced in the fact that Poison 2, pretty rough with it. Poison 2 can be very rough, but Poison 1 is like perfectly balanced, the length and everything. I think Poison's just a very well balanced effect that can be outclassed with something like Wither, but just isn't outclassed enough. I think Poison's fits perfect, honestly. Instant health. I'm Instant health, you kind of have to put in the classic A tier. That seems what the first four of these are. Instant health instantly lets you recover some HP. That has to be in the game. You can't really get around that. I'm putting it there. Resistance is probably my second S tier. Resistance fits perfectly and you get it when you need it. For example, a God Apple, resistance helps so much in affecting instant damage, the damage of instant damage inside Minecraft. I think it affects the game enough to be put here, 100%. Yeah, I don't really know what else to say. I think it's perfectly balanced where you get it late game from beacons or you get it from god apples, which is when you need it. I think it's up here with invisibility and the balance of it all. Slow falling, slow falling is too situational to put high. I'll put slow falling high C tier. I'll put it above Dolphin Effect, right by Jump Boost, where they're both good but very situational. Like slow falling, amazing for the dragon fight. I'm sure you've heard that before. It's just too situational to put. Slowness has its purpose and it has a lot of uses. I'll put it high B tier. Honestly, I could see it being ahead of haste, so I might actually move haste down, which I'll do now. Slowness just it's just pretty situational where use it in a fight sometimes. There's also a couple effects missing down here, which I'll mention by memory, but it just doesn't do enough for me. I don't know. Speed, I'll put in the in what has officially become just the classic effect A tier. I'll actually put it at the height of it. Speed is necessary for the game. It's not situational. You can always use it while slowing the opponent down. Doesn't affect the game too much, where they can still participate in stuff. Speed allows the idea of strafing, stuff like that. Speed's just very important to the game of Minecraft. Strength, it's the problem with strength is that it's very unbalanced, which makes it hard to put it high A tier. This problem might be a little controversial, but I'm putting strength high B tier because of how unbalanced it is. It's an amazing effect, necessary, but just not balanced enough. This is water breathing, again situational. I'll put it around the dolphin effect. It's too situational to rank up here. Weakness, uh, weakness is situational. It's just I don't really see you going out of your way to use weakness. I'll put weakness high D tier, low C tier. Weakness, it just doesn't add enough to Minecraft, honestly. I don't really know another way to put it. Wither is amazing in combat, but very unbalanced. The ability to not see your hearts is very underrated because you have to look closely, and you can see them. It just makes it harder, you know? I think its effect is underrated, but it's also not balanced. I'll put it around the strength tier. Now there's two more. I don't know how to add stuff to here, but there's two more I can know just off basis that, hey, they're not here, and that's Turtle Master is what it's called. Turtle Master, I would put probably, honestly, S tier alongside Resistance, where it's perfectly balanced in like the way you use it. You take a good step back for higher levels of resistance with Turtle Master. Just that in general, really helpful. And the other one, instant damage 2, which would go alongside the poison regen area and instant health, but it's way too unbalanced. I'd probably put instant damage 2 around the unbalanced little trio we have here with Wither and Strength. If there's any other potion effects missing from this list, I'm sorry, but that's my list. I hope you enjoyed it. Bye-bye.